Hurts people. Like these sins, they offend people. Like I said, they hurt people. They push other people down, and I was pushing people down to prop myself up. They say, look at me and how great I am. But most importantly, what they do is they spit in the face of God. They worship the self, right? God is the only person, the only thing in the universe that deserves praise, glory, and worship. And yeah, I had it misplaced. I didn't have that priority right. Another sin that was prominent in my life was was lust. It was sexual sin. I masturbated for the first time when I was a freshman in high school and continued to do so frequently for a long time, even after I was saved. There was a year-long stretch of time where I was masturbating like almost every day. And I can tell you just from my experience, this type of sin, it's so destructive, so destructive. It's not like any other sin. Yeah, like no other sin, it made me feel this immense amount of guilt, immense amount of shame that I would just carry around with me. Like no other sin, it made me not want to read my Bible or go to God in prayer. It made me want to avoid God. I thought, how can I face God, when I've committed this wrong against him, like so willingly too. Like I've willfully disobeyed God. Like how can I stand before him? And like no other sin, it severed my relationship with God, and it was hard to repent of. I wanted to. For so long, I was just desperate to stop. Right? I knew it was wrong, and like I said, I wanted to stop, but I couldn't. And why? Like I struggled for this for so long, guys. And why couldn't I stop? I was going about it in the wrong way. So if you guys were here for Trey's sermon the other day, it was really great. Love you, Trey. And he talked about this idea. So let's say that my sin is over there, right? And God, he's over there. So what I was doing this. I was walking toward my sin. Is it okay to move around? I think. Okay, I'll just move around, and if I hear something. Here's what I was doing. I was walking toward my sin, and then I would stop. I would say, God, no, this is wrong. Like intellectually, I know it's wrong. I need to stop. Right? And then what would happen is, well, I'd do it again, right? And I'd say, whoa, that's so bad. Like I need to stop. Like desperately, I need to stop. And then, time after time, again and again and again. And why couldn't I stop? And it's because Jacob Van Sickle used to say this a lot, but our hearts, they long to worship something. Our hearts are idol factories. And so I would say, yeah, I need to stop. I need to stop. And I would, like sometimes for a little bit, sometimes a month, sometimes a week, but I wasn't replacing it. You see, I wasn't worshiping anything, and so all I had to go back to was my sin. Right? And so stopping and feeling bad in the moment wasn't good enough. I needed to fill the void with something that is actually sustaining and life-giving, right? And that's God, right? So instead of just stopping and then falling back in, I need to run this way. I need to pursue God. So my encouragement for everyone here, if you're struggling with sin, pursue God. Repent and pursue God. God is so good. And guys, let me tell you, victory is so sweet. Victory over sin is so sweet. Yeah, so where am I at now? Today, I still fall short. Every single day I fall short. But I have a newfound hope in the good news of Jesus Christ. And I've laid it out here. Here's the news. Here's the gospel. Here's what I believe. I believe man has fallen short of and does not live up to God's standard. Everyone who has ever lived, will ever live, Every person in this room is deserving of eternal punishment. They deserve to be forever separated from the one who created them. That's all of us, right? That's our condition. But here's the good news. But God, I love that. But God, in his grace, in his mercy, in his love, sent his only son, Jesus Christ, to Calvary. Christ willingly went to the cross where it was God's will to crush him. The wrath of God was poured out onto Christ, and Christ was satisfied. Like Christ was satisfied that he died because he knew what it meant for us. The righteous one died so that many could be counted as righteous. That's you and me. And so as a result, God no longer sees us as vile and evil, but as righteous and holy and blameless. A glorious inheritance. That's what he sees us as. He sees us as his son. Yeah, this is the gospel, and it has changed my life, and I pray tonight, if it hasn't yet, that it would change yours as well. And so I guess I just have one more thing that I've been thinking about a lot recently. I've been meditating on. Consider the price of your salvation. Whether you're a Christian or not, the cost of God's wrath is infinite. Like, I think that's kind of hard to understand. But God's wrath that deservingly should be poured out on us, it's infinite. But what happened? Christ took it for us, right? Christ paid it, so we don't have to. And what does that mean? That means that we're in debt. It means that we're in an infinite amount of debt to Christ. And so, yeah, we're indebted to Christ, and that doesn't mean showing up to Saturdays at 6 p.m. It doesn't mean, singing while we're here, coming to Thursday nights. It doesn't mean giving God an hour each morning and then forgetting about him. It means our whole lives. And even that isn't enough to amount to the cost that we owe. Yeah, so my prayer for you guys tonight is if you do know God, be zealous and repent. Like John Hastings said at Fall Conference, be zealous and repent. And if you're not a Christian, then yeah, I just plead that you would be curious, that you would give it a chance. Because it has changed my life, and it has changed so many other people's lives in this room. Yeah, and that's it. That's my story. I hope you were encouraged by it, or there was maybe some wisdom in there just by chance. Yeah, if you have any questions, I'm not much of a talker, but you could probably talk to me, and I'd have some stuff to say. If you don't want to talk to me, there's other leaders, there's other people in this room who are much, much smarter and much wiser than me. So yeah, that's all I have. Thanks, guys. I think Jacob Bennett is going to get up and speak. So yeah, thank you, guys.